Hi, welcome to Caribou Country Lifestyle. My name is Cheryl. Today I have been just trying to get all my flowers planted. Last weekend I was planting a lot of my peppers. I had already planted all my tomatoes and I brought you along with me for planting my tomatoes because I was putting my cozy coats around them. I have taken a couple of cozy coats off of my tomatoes because they were starting to produce flowers, so I just decided to take those cozy coats off. I have most of my planters planted with flowers. I only have a couple more to do. I just have to find a couple of pots that I want to use because I have a couple of single holders for just single pots, and I still have quite a few Snapdragons to plant. My Snapdragons, I guess I started them too late, and I'll have to make a note of that to definitely start them earlier, maybe a couple of weeks earlier, because they're quite a bit behind compared to the rest of my annual flowers that I have planted. I've just gone through and watered everything. It was super rainy for a couple of days, and then yesterday was quite warm. Today has been quite warm. I ended up purchasing a sprinkler, just overcast sprinkler that goes back and forth for down below, and I actually got it half price. It was only 20 bucks for an oscillating sprinkler. So I put it down below, but I've already, because I've had yesterday and today were so warm before I actually got this sprinkler set up, I lost a couple of squash plants, and I also lost a couple of sunflowers, so that's unfortunate. I'm thinking what I'm going to do is just plunk some sunflower seeds right into the ground and let them come up, because they don't take long at all to come up. They're probably one of the shorter season varieties that don't take long to germinate. I'm bringing you along to plant some of my shorter variety of Snapdragons, and I'm just plugging them into around my circular bed in spots that I haven't planted anything yet. Here in my circular bed, I have 4 spots here that don't have anything in it. On this side, I have a nasturtium, then I have some alyssum and some lobelia, and I've also plugged a couple of shorter variety. I planted a couple of sweet pea seeds into some of those spots on the other side of my lobelia, so I'm not planting anything in some of the pots because I do have seeds planted. But these 4, I don't have anything planted. And I have some mini snap. They're just a shorter variety of a Snapdragon. And I'm just going to put those in these. These are really wet because I watered them the other day, and then I just watered the soil as well. So these, I will give them a little splash of water after I've planted them too. Yeah, these aren't very established Snapdragons. So here's hoping that they will be okay. I've already pinched the tops on these Snapdragons as well. And I've also already planted all of my sunflowers in throughout the raised beds in the garden here too. I can put one more in here. And I topped each one of these blocks with compost, so I'll get that seeping into the ground, so that'll be good for these new plants as well. I'm just gonna go along and finish filling in any of the holes that I don't have anything planted. I'm just gonna plant with these mini Snapdragons. Just finished planting those little mini Snapdragons. I've still got some bigger Snapdragons. I have some Mardi Gras Snapdragons, and I also have some rainbow Snapdragons, and then I have a little bit of the Crystal Palace Lobelia. I have done up quite a few flower pots, and I have them out on the deck, which I have to water those too. Now that I've put them out on the deck, it's a pretty hot day today. It's definitely around 26, 27 degrees Celsius, and it's going to be even warmer tomorrow. So tomorrow I have to make sure that I get out here earlier and be watering sooner. Today I just didn't get out here early enough to get the water around, and some of those poor squash, I actually lost, I think, all 3 of my spaghetti squash, and I also lost one of my bonbon squashes. The other one is still hanging on there, and I have a butternut squash that is still hanging on. So I might have to see if I can find some more squash plants. The vegetable plants are pretty scarce now. It's amazing how when you have a couple of nurseries that aren't available anymore, how the selection is not very good. The Horsefly Nursery had a wonderful selection. If anything, they had above and beyond as far as selection goes. So I'm really missing the Horsefly Nursery a lot because I just haven't been able to find any replacement plants. Like I was saying, I couldn't even get broccoli. Thank goodness I had some purple sprouting broccoli seeds that I was able to put in the ground, and they are growing. So let's go take a look and see what we have growing in the garden. I always seem to start at this side. So here are the little bit of flowers that I have left to plant. Just Snapdragons. There is a couple of portulaca, but they are very tiny. Again, another one that I started too late. I ended up buying these marigolds here from one of the local feed stores that also carries nursery plants. So I got a couple of 6-packs of marigolds. In the back, that's my Butter Crunch lettuce. And then you come to that blue tag, and that is supposed to be my romaine, but I haven't had any coming up, so I'm going to have to reseed that again. I might use a different romaine seed. Then in front of that, these are the Hikiri salad turnips. These onions that are in here, these are just volunteer onions that came up from last year. My radishes, not ready to be picked yet, but they're getting there. I also planted in some of my nasturtiums. These are nasturtiums that I had started. And then in behind, I planted some sunflowers. And then I have a little sprout right here. That is one of the glad bulbs. They were 2 years old, and I wasn't sure if they were going to do anything, and I planted them, and I see one coming up. And then if I look over here, right there, there's another one coming up. So that's super exciting. But I have sunflowers in here, some more marigolds, lots of dill coming up. I'm going to be removing this thyme because it did not come back this year. This is my gold zucchini. I had 4 plants, but I took 2 out, and I'm just going to keep 2 plants in here. These are the San Marzano tomatoes. If we look inside, I will be taking these cozy coats off here pretty quick. This is my prize head lettuce. I got a couple of little sprouts coming in here. This is the watermelon radish, and I only ended up getting one little sprout. So I'm going to reseed this again and see what happens. And then this is the cherry bell radish. It's not quite ready to pick. I ended up reseeding my golden Detroit beets because none of them came up. So I reseeded them with a brand new pack, so hopefully that'll change things. These are another type of beet. What are these? These are the Crosby beets, and I did come through here and I thinned them out a little bit, but there will be more seeds popping up. Those are my leeks at the end. These here are Morning Glory plants that I started in the house, and I plunked them in on this panel. I'm just moving this over so it'll climb on this one, and this one is to climb on that one. And this type of Morning Glory is called Flying Saucers, and the flower blooms on them are so magnificent. Here under this little mini greenhouse, these are the California Wonder Peppers. And I do have some flowers on them. That one in the middle. This one has some buds. These are all peppers that I started in the house. These are the Scarlet Nanty carrots. I did thin these ones out a little bit as well. More leeks. These are the sunflower that I've put these plants into here. I started those. This is the celeriac. Under here is the jalapeno peppers. Got some buds on this one here in the middle. They like that plastic. Just is the right kind of temperature for them. And then here are the celery on this side. And another sunflower. Here is the basil that I ended up buying. This one, it doesn't look very good. This is the Sun Gold cherry tomato. I did take this one off because I do have some flowers, buds that are just starting. But this one didn't have any, but I'll probably be taking that one off soon too. These are the old German tomatoes. And then we have the music garlic and fennel. Over on this side is the red Russian garlic. I haven't seen any garlic scapes coming up from these. Not yet anyways. Oh, I missed over here to water. These are some more nasturtiums. I gotta get some water over here. Okay, behind me. These are the purple Vienna kohlrabi, and I am going to thin these out again and give them about 6 inches in between the plants. Here are some pickling cucumbers that I bought. I just got 2, and then I went and plugged some seeds into the ground, and we'll see what happens. This is one of my pots that I planted up. I just have it in here because if I put this on my doorstep right now before it really gets established, the deer will tear it apart. These peppers here, Carnival Blend, and I don't have any, but oh, there's some buds over on that one, on that side. On this side we have arugula. And it's doing really well. I can actually start picking some of the leaves off of here and using it in my salads. Here we have 2 different kinds of spinach. We have the countryside spinach, which is a baby spinach. And then we have the Bloomsdale spinach as well. Have just a few carrots poking through the ground over on this side. Then we have the Asian radish, and these are the green annual bunching onions. And on this side we have some beets coming up. These are the cylinder beets. And then those are just morning glories. I don't know the variety. They were saved seeds. There are the purple sprouting broccoli plants that I have. And another little marigold. And I actually have rutabagas coming up, the seed. I have a few coming up in here. I did 2 rows of them and they're just starting to sprout. There's another one here and another one there. There's my kale as well. I took this cozy coat off. This is the Oxheart tomato. And then there's the other one. Aunt Ruby's German green. So that's in there. And the other German green right there. More fennel. These are the bull's blood beets. Look at how burgundy dark those bull's blood beet greens are. They're just so beautiful. My volunteer garlic. This I took the cover off. That's the Manitoba tomato. Look at all the flowers on that one. That is so pretty. Another pot that I did up. All my little carrots trying to grow around. See, it was too close. I have carrots trying to grow in amongst around these cozy coats. These are, this other one's the Manitoba as well. And this one is the Valencia tomato. These two are the Valencia tomato. Look, I have carrots growing in down on the side there. The King of the North peppers. And I have buds on that one about to open. And no, not on that one. And if we come down here, this is my new carrots that I have started. And these are the Bilbo carrots. And I've thinned these out as well, but they're coming in really nice. These tomatoes are the celebrity tomatoes, the bush tomato. And then these ones on here are the Brandywine. I took this cover off, but I haven't taken that cover off. I noticed that there were some big buds about to open up. On the other side, these are, what beets are these? These are the early wonder beets, and I have come and thinned these out as well. Little volunteer onion. This over here, that's the Swiss chard. These are baby beets, and I have thinned those out. On this side, this is the eggplants. They're loving this heat. These tomatoes are the Amish paste. These two on this side and these two on this side are the Carnival blend. And then in behind, this is the Chinese Toy Choy. It's almost ready to be picked. I'm not gonna let it get much bigger than this, because then I'll end up with some bug damage, or they'll start going to seed, and then I won't have anything. I planted these buckets, and look what I ended up doing. I put this fencing around here, and that is to keep the pesky deer from just decimating my planter. So I have wave petunias, lobelia, snapdragons in this bucket, and I think I have one giant stalk in here too. I love stalks. Look at this little calibrachoa. This is a double smokin' berry calibrachoa. I love this. I think that is so neat. And then I have some lobelia, a snapdragon, some more, another lobelia, probably the Crystal Palace lobelia. I have a geranium, and then what is this? I think that is the black and white dianthus. And then we're going to come over to this hanging basket. And again, I have, this is an orange geranium. This is called the Frisky Orange Petunia, Lobelia, another black and white dianthus, Snapdragon in the middle. And then here I've done the same with this one. Once these get really well established, I'm actually afraid to take this fence off because the deer are just so crazy when it comes to eating my flowers. This poor rose did not make it to the party this year, which is unfortunate. And then over here are my clematis. Deer have not done anything to my clematises as of yet. This is the Villa de Lyon. And this one is the Sapphire Indigo. I can't wait to see these bloom. I love clematis. Here we're at the front of the house. This is a little mini rose bush that was here on the property when we moved in. And then I've put in some night scented stalks. This bed is going to have to be watered. These little plants down here, these are schizanthus. They're called angel wings schizanthus. And they seem to be doing pretty good so far. And then look at these hollyhocks. They are coming along beautiful. I hate to say it too loud, but the deer haven't done nothing to them as of yet. Little volunteer pansies. Some more hollyhocks. And they did flower last year, so we'll see if these flower this year. I put some gazanias in. This is the little columbine that I bought. It's the Songbird Cardinal Columbine. But I've got gazanias in, and I also put gazanias in the back. And then that is a giant stalk as well. And then I have a bud on my delphinium. So that's good because I lost my other one. And then I put some more gazanias over on this side. And before you say anything, I know they need to be watered. So I have a Cosmo, that's that tall ferny one. Cosmo's in here, Snapdragons, the giant stalks in here. And this is a straw flower plant that I grew. Here we have some verbena. I have a Cosmo. This is a pretty regatta. This is the regatta lobelia. And then I have a copper red straw flower in here too. And then another lobelia in the back. That's the regatta blue in the back too. And here, some more verbena, cosmos, snapdragon. These are my cream sausage on this side. Look at all the buds on this. This is the mystery Roma. I have a mint, another mystery Roma, and then over here I picked up, it's a scented geranium, and the scent on it is a citronella. So you just rub the leaves and you have a citronella scent on the geranium. And then we'll come over on this corner on the sunny side. These are all my paprika peppers. So these first two are Lutschgar paprika pepper. These two with the flowers on them are the Alma paprika, and this is the Felher Ozon. Fellhair ozon paprika peppers, and they have buds on them. They just haven't opened yet. Like these Alma have their buds all open, and these don't have any buds on them. I know, they need water. All of this needs water. So these are all the pots that I've just planted today. And I am going to go fill up my water bucket. These ones I planted last weekend, but look at this. This is the Crazy Tunia Blackberry Jam. Isn't that gorgeous? I love that. And up here, this is a red geranium that my son Austin gave me for Mother's Day. I picked all the buds off of it because they were already flowering when he gave it to me, and they didn't last long. And this petunia is a variegated petunia. That is so cool. So I said I would water, and I'm going to water. Just watered all of the plants over on the other side. And these are the last of what I have to water. So giving them a really good drink. Water. My plan tomorrow is to, besides water, I'll just finish watering these. So yeah, my plan tomorrow is I have to set up my hoops and my rings because my strawberries are flowering, and I need to get the netting over my strawberries before they start setting out fruit, because if I don't, then the birds are going to get to my strawberries and I won't have any strawberries. Last year, my other problem was, I'm going to have to get a little bit more water. Last year, my other problem was that if the strawberries were sitting on the ground, the ripe strawberries, then they were getting filled with worms, little pinworms, and that was gross. So I ended up putting extra straw underneath my strawberry plants so that the strawberries wouldn't be sitting on the ground, because when they were on the straw, then they were fine and we didn't lose anywhere near the amount of strawberries that we did if they were on the ground. I'll show you this petunia. I love that. So that one is a double Supertunia Priscilla, and it says it's a hybrid, but that is so cute. So there is my orchard side of the house, and I ended up digging up some raspberries and adding them to the bottom of my raspberries, like those bigger ones at the front, and then I added some at the bottom there that are definitely a lot smaller. And then I have my 3 rows of strawberries. In the center on the right, that is my sour cherry tree. Just beside my raspberries, that's my blue plum. And in behind that big bush there, that is my elderberry. I have another elderberry. If we come over here, that other little one beside the big one, that's another elderberry bush as well. So that big elderberry, I can see elderberry flowers on the top of that starting to form. All of these peppers I started myself, but these paprika peppers are seeds that my sister ended up getting for me, and I forget where she got them from. I think she got them from the States maybe. And so she ended up getting me 3 different varieties of paprika peppers, and so these are ones that I had started myself. And my other peppers, I think there's only one that's a hot, and that's a jalapeno pepper, but the other 3 varieties are sweet peppers. So these paprika peppers, I am growing them, and once they produce the peppers on them and that they mature, I will be drying them, and I can put them in my dehydrator, and then I will be putting them through a spice grinder and turning them into the paprika that you use, because we use quite a bit of paprika. I use it in when I'm cooking my yam fries. I also use it when I make my Cajun seasoning. I do a Cajun seasoning from scratch when I'm doing chicken wings as well. We go through a lot of paprika. So I'm super excited to see how these turn out, and we'll just have to wait and see. So now it's just time to sit back and relax and watch the magic grow. Plus I have to fill up my watering can and add a little bit more water to that one. Plus I gotta go out and water those poor little nasturtiums that I was showing you too. But that's all I'm gonna be doing for today. Tomorrow I have another filled day of more work to do. Always something, but I love it. I love this time of year. I wouldn't trade it for anything. Happy gardening. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you again soon. Bye for now.